Back with Lucy Greer working on some risotto. Now, like you mentioned, I made this for the first time. I didn't know what risotto really was until I started working on Studio 10 and saw some of our great chefs like yourself come on the show. What is risotto exactly for those who don't know?
It's a short grain rice, and so when you cook it kind of low and slow. We're about to start adding our broth, and you continue to stir, 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 and the starches are released in the rice, and it becomes very creamy. So a lot of people think it's pasta, but it's actually rice. So it's arborio rice is the rice that you use to make risotto. And in the grocery store, it's buy the rice, and there's also packets that you can buy that are already flavored up and everything, or what I'm using today is just the plain arborio rice. So,
and you got to give it some love, like you said, low and slow. So you got to work with it a little bit. But yeah, it really kind of has like a noodly-like texture, but it is a rice.
It is, and it's really unique and really comforting, and a great dish for really this cool weather. So we're flavoring up ours today with some vegetables, and we're going to do pumpkin. So what I did in this pot is I started with a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of butter, and then we cooked a half of a red onion for about 5 minutes. I just wanted it to soften up, and then we added the 1 cup of the rice and just let it toast up a little bit. And now I'm adding half a cup of white wine. So this is going to add great flavor. And I wanted to mention a little bit about cooking with wine. You know, some people do not drink wine, and what I have started to do is in the wine section, look for these little 4-pack bottles of wine. I wish I would have brought one. I buy those, and they're just under a cup per little bottle, and so it's perfect to open one of those and use for cooking and not have to and not have to commit to the whole bottle of wine. You know, if you're not a wine drinker or not a white wine drinker, red, or you know, whatever you want to cook with. So that's a good option.
Yeah, great option there. Now I want to ask you, for Greer, is this kind of getting to the start of the busiest time? Is Thanksgiving and Christmas the busiest time of year for y'all typically?
It is. It is the busiest time of year. It's so fun being in the stores. All of the holiday merchandise is coming in, and we're getting really excited for Thanksgiving. I have the delis already calling, asking about holiday dinner information because people are wanting to order those. So that's going out, and it's a fun time of year.
Did you guys order some turkeys?
Yes, we have plenty of turkeys, plenty of hams, plenty of, you know, this time of year people are baking. I mean, sugar, eggs, oil, all of that is really big. And we have everything, of course, ready now, because a lot of people like to get a jump start on it. You know, we're already in November, and I know our family, we're already like, okay, what are we going to have, you know, for Thanksgiving? So yeah, all of our stores are fully stocked up. Okay, so now what I just did in this pot, you heat up the broth that you're using. Today we're using chicken broth. 1 cup of the rice is going to take about 3 to 4 cups of liquid. So what you do is get it warm back here, and then add about half a cup, or you know, whatever ladle you're using at a time, and then you stir, 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 like we mentioned before. And before you add more broth, this has to be absorbed. So instead of adding all the broth at one time, you add a little bit at a time, so the starch releases from this rice and it becomes very creamy. So this is kind of the waiting process. This is the time you bring in your kids and say, stir this pot while I go do something else.
Or it's time to take a break and come back and join you in just a little while.
Right.
All right, so that's what we're going to do. We'll be back with more from Lucy in just a little bit. Meanwhile, you can find this recipe on the Studio 10 tab at fox10tv.com. Michael, what a picture-perfect day for trick-or-treating it was yesterday.